Hello, Sunshine Community. I am your boy Paper Ario, joined by the
And
one and only Deathline, Bingo Legend,
I guess I'm a bingo legend now.
and we're here for the second Pape recap show. Uh, it has
What
been a
is that?
while since the last one, quite a while.
Almost a month.
But
Almost.
yeah, we are here to talk about some bingo. So, Deathline, tell the people at home who you are if they just somehow don't know and are watching this.
I'm Deathline. I guess at this point you can call me an old boy runner. I'm not as old as Paper, of course, but
Happens.
uh, I've I've been playing Sunshine since July of 2014. So I've been around for quite some time. A lot of people know me. Um, I did some things. I found a strat.
Hey, that's all we
A.
need.
A singular strat, and that is for 120. Um, I was actually pretty okay in any percent before people got good. I got a 119, and I was on NTSCU. I think I was like the third or fourth person to do that.
Nice.
So yeah, times have changed. I'm now just a bingo player, a pretty average one at that. I can definitely give some people good matches, at least at the
Hmm.
higher mid skill level.
Yeah, you definitely had some good matches, and that's actually what we're going to talk about later on. But for right now, let's go on ahead and jump into the first match, um, of me versus Larvae. So I am purple, Larvae is blue. Um, and yeah, let's talk about this one. So
There's a
I,
lot
s-
of purple on this card.
there's a lot of purple. So I started out with that the triple click in row four. So um,
That's
I
actually a great way to lead this up if you
mhm.
don't get sniped.
Yeah. So I literally um I just did Rico 1 through 5, and I had some logic with how I was gonna do the 100 coin shine, which I'll get into. But yeah, I started with that triple click. Larvae started with the M's, um, and then proceeded to do like 25 in Rico.
Hmm.
And then at that point, I just kind of rushed a late game, which you can see because I saw like the all three bloopers, the defeat
Oh
eel.
man, dude. Rico and Denoki? What is this? What is this card?
It was
Why is
pretty.
Rico and Denoki so broken?
It was pretty good. Um, but yeah, Larvae ended up in like a really bad position because like he just didn't contest. Like Larvae was trying to avoid getting sniped by me, and then it
Mhm.
ended up just putting him in a really bad position because it gave me row four right off the bat. I and then it set me up for so many other things, and then Larvae just didn't contest the Noki option, which I had. Which if he
Mhm.
had done, probably would have been a lot closer because he might have gotten row one, and then row five would have been a pivotal play. But the thing about
That.
row five is, so I clicked lily pad right,
Mhm.
as kind of a bait to get Larvae to think that I wanted it, and then it
Mhm.
baited him into doing more Serena stuff, and then I was just able to go to Noki and clean up.
Yeah, that's smart. And then even I'm pretty sure I think I saw you ending on two Piantissimo, so you were in Pianta anyways.
Hmm. That's how I ended. I could have ended in a safer way, which would have made the bingo go longer. Is I could
Mhm.
have done the two Piantissimo and then ride Yoshi and Pianta because Larvae didn't have Yoshi. But I was pretty confident at that point. And getting 10 blues and Noki when I was doing Piantissimo didn't take me too long, so I thought that was a fair thing to do.
Yeah, it's good play. Just I'm looking at this, and Rico and Denoki is just fantastic.
It was pretty good.
And then you finish with Piantissimo.
Hmm.
Yeah, definitely if like Larvae won three blooper bosses and probably 10 blues from Noki, I can see that just be like, okay, this is gonna be like another 15 minutes.
Yeah. There was one
Because
play I was
for
super scared of Larvae doing, and I was thinking about it the entire time. and it was the 15 M's into 100 coin and Rico won, which I thought was a pretty strong counter to this. And
That's
that's
a good
why I
brain play.
delayed doing 100. So I waited until it was my 6th shine,
Hmm.
because if Larvae did 100 earlier on and wanted to like click it, I would at least get to see that, and then I could back up with like doing Rico 4 reds or something, which would give me like an extra red coin instead of being locked into doing just 100 coin a secret or something.
Yeah, and then eating a delay click or something like that, or just being halfway through Rico 400s and then, oops, it
Uh-huh.
got clicked.
Yep. But yeah, that was that match. So this is winners
Three,
round 3.
two,
Um, 3,
two, three,
3.
three.
And we'll be talking all the way up through losers round 4. So,
We got a lot of recap. Yeah, that was winners round three. we got a
hmm
we got a lot of recap to go through.
yep. All right, let's move on. So this is Danny Braguy. So this was one of the hyper matchups because seed 4-5, um, Braguy is really good. Danny's really fast.
Mhm.
Um, and it made for a pretty interesting bingo.
Honestly, I skimmed this match pretty fast, and it started out really purple,
hmm
and then it got really pink really fast.
Yeah, that was the thing. So, Danny started out with the 15 M's and 15 from Rico play,
Hmm.
which,
And and the 15M graffitis, right?
yeah, the 15 in Rico, 15 M's. Um, which, like, thinking about it, it was more of like a Braguy counter because Danny was probably thinking that Braguy wasn't going to go for this, like, strong Rico play because Rico had 2 hiddens, 6 from Rico.
Hmm.
There was Rico 8, and then there was 9 from a single level.
Yeah, that's like Rico heaven right there.
Uh huh.
Almost a
So,
almost an FCIW.
pretty much. And so that just gave Braguy a lot of access because Braguy did what he thought Danny would do, which I guess was like some sort of mind game he was playing.
Hmm.
But it ended up working out because it set him up so well for that, Rico 8, the 9 from the level. It gave him a goal in 4 rows, which put a lot of pressure on Danny. And it
Hmm.
gave him bosses, which is nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Think Danny got mostly just blues, and he went to Pinna, and then Braguy got all the birds, got the stuff he needed from Bianco. So Bianco 2, he got the rocket, and then he went
yeah.
into Serena to finish out bosses, and then he's like a world or two short from one shine from each level.
hmm
So I think he went to Noki. Last shine there gets the third rocket,
Yep.
and then finishes on hundreds.
hmm Yeah, so Braga actually had a really good play in here. So Braga got the 6 birds, right? Um,
Hmm.
he did Mecha, and then Danny did 15 from Pinna. So instead of Braga finishing out for the 1 hidden in Pinna, he left, went for the 2 rockets and the 1 hidden in Bianco, and it just put so much more pressure on the card than if he got the 1 hidden. Because now he
That's
had
smart.
Bianco progress, he had 2 rockets, and he was set up for his 3rd one.
Hmm.
He still got a goal in row 4 and information on Danny, and it just played out super well. Um,
Yeah, and then Braga, just finishing strong with 300s. It's like people kind of cringe at 300s because it's like if you know how to do hundreds, they're not bad, but it's like, oh my God, I have to spend that much time doing 3 100 coin shines.
yeah.
At like the very least, that's like 10 minutes.
hmm
Like that's almost 1/6 of a bingo right there. So
Pretty much.
yeah,
Um,
Braga is really strong with his 100s. So
yeah. It actually, so this bingo could have been closer, but Danny was struggling for a minute trying to do Serena 300s.
ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Which then it just
Yeah.
put him super far behind. And like, so Danny's play was he wanted to like align the 4 shines from Serena with the 100 coin shine,
Hmm.
but like, it's Serena 3 is so fast. It's I unless there's a good Serena 3 100s route out there, I don't think it's ever worth to do Serena 3 100s.
It's hard. You have to really know the coins inside the hotel like the back of your hand. It's almost as bad as Serena 1/100s in my opinion. I think it's a little bit easier just because the hotel is just structured
It's
so
the
you can remember
hotel.
it. You can remember it by layer, but
Yeah.
Serena 3/100s is something that you actually have to practice a lot to understand.
Hmm.
Yeah, Serena hundreds is also just a bait, especially in row control, unless it's like a really pivotal point. It's
You mean
hard
like
to
Serena
warrant
1
going for it.
100s or like Serena 100 in general?
In general, I mean, if it's like
Because in 4,
gonna
it's not
really
really
mess up a
the.
row,
Yeah.
Serena 1/100s, it's a good option if you know how to do it and you're paying attention and you don't miss the coins, and then pull a Chetty from the 2v2 lockout where you spend like
Cheddar.
20 something minutes
Yeah, that was not
on
pretty.
two attempts of a Serena 1/100. But anything past that, Serena 3/100s, Serena 4/100s, 7/8 if you have to go that far for whatever reason. I've never seen anyone go that far in a row
In
control.
Serena.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's done King Boo in row control.
yeah. Just Serena's just such a time sink, so it's really hard to warrant going for hundreds.
It's so with Yoshi, I actually don't think Serena is that bad. I was doing it in some bingo recently, and I was like, Serena 2 is not that slow, Serena 3 is not that slow, and Serena 4 is not that slow. And it
Hmm.
gets you like two secrets. You have access to like no clipping if it exists. You have access to
Hmm.
two more red coins, like, and you get a boss. Like it's not that bad, but when you're doing Serena and Evers, that adds up super fast.
Yeah, the first four shines on their own, it's not bad. I mean, Manta, yeah, 3 minutes on average usually, unless you're a god gamer.
Yeah, that's like the
But
one thing that like hurts. But even then, like the rest of the shines
as
are like
long as you
all
have
right.
the proper goals, 3 hiddens, 5 hiddens, secrets, 10 blues from Serena, it's honestly not that bad. It's just Serena's probably the hardest world out of anything in Sunshine, especially in my opinion. And I think that goes for a lot of runners and players. Serena is
Hmm.
just really difficult to do well and to memorize well.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but the whole Serena whenever nonsense really destroyed the 2v2 setting, but it's honestly not great in
I
row
don't.
control
Yeah.
unless you need Manta.
If you need Manta, then yeah. But other like, cause in row control, like shine lead is like really important because when you know you have the shine lead, that helps you with things for like one from each. Just like making it to Pinna first, making it to Noki first,
Hmm.
like, and like 25 and 28 shines when they appear. It's like it was super good to have shine lead.
Hmm.
Like, if you look at most of the matches, the person who has the shine lead was probably the person who won. But like, it's not always dependent on that, depending on how the card is.
Hmm. Definitely.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a tricky thing to consider into your route.
mhm. But yeah, that is Danny Braguy. Um, let's move on to Urinal Mike versus SB Electric. So SB in purple, Mike in blue.
This is the story of a heartbreak.
Yeah.
Ugh. Um, Mike starts Bianco, SB starts Rico, and starting out it was pretty even. I think SB definitely had a little bit of a lead,
Hmm.
but there was a turning point for Mike where Mike was like that far away from just destroying this match, and that was SB doing live grinding and Serena won or Bianca won,
Hmm. Yeah, because
and
I guess
it was just right there, and Mike was on his way, and then he died in Serena 2, all the way at the very end.
dang.
And that lost him a minute, which lost him 100 coins from Noki, which SB did in Noki 1, I believe, and
I think
he
Mike did
did
it
that
in
in like,
two.
or he did it in 2, and it took him like 5.5 minutes. And Mike did Noki 1, got into Noki 2, and did it like the normal way you're supposed to do in Noki 2,
Hmm.
and it was like maybe 30 seconds away from collecting the shine.
Wow.
He was so close.
Hmm.
Like If he'd not died in Serenity 2, that would have made the difference.
Dang.
And then yeah, SB finishes out on 28 shines because he just had a huge shine lead considering he went through Rico and Pinna and Noki.
Hmm. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking that row 3 was like the one that was like last contested, but yeah, that was like contested way earlier on. And yeah,
Because
like
SB got the lives and then he got the bird. Oh, I guess I should go get the other bird and then do 100 in Nokis. So
yeah,
he had a pretty strong hold and he almost lost Noki 3.
Nuki 3.
Like this 3-2 is a lot closer than the card tells.
Hmm. Yeah, SB's route just like it worked well with like the late game stuff, like the gold birds, the 100 coin and Noki, the 28 shines.
Hmm.
Um, when did Mike get both bloopers?
That is a great question.
I'm trying to
I
remember.
think I'm honestly not sure on that one because I know Mike started Bianco, and I think
Oh, okay. He got them after he got sniped on hundreds. That
and then
makes more
hundreds.
sense.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, actually,
because
I remember SB got to Noki like significantly early on, but he skipped over doing all 3 bloops and defeat Eel, which I thought was really strange. And I guess it was maybe him respecting Mike being in Noki, but I don't feel like it would have been a bad play because like worst case scenario is you're set up for Noki 100 in a faster level if you get sniped to it. And like it gives you like a free row 5 at that point. So,
yeah, it's interesting because SB started straight Rico as well. Like he did 6 shines from Rico
the
and
2
2
hidden.
hidden, and then eventually got the hundreds there.
Hmm.
And it honestly floors me because SB got all 100 coin shines on this card, and there isn't a 3 100 coin shines goal on this card. He got Rico, he got Pianta, he got Noki.
Which, to be fair, those are the 3 fastest 100 coin shines. Like
Yeah.
Pianta 100, that's like 2.5 at most. Noki 100, that's like 2 minutes, and Rico 100 is like 230, 250 also. Like those are all really fast, and you got access to all the fast ones. So,
Yeah, you can do them all really early. So it's nice
mhm.
if you want to do it the fast way. I mean, SB again, SB was just so close to losing the hundreds from Noki.
Yeah.
Because I think he was trying to collect blues at the same time in Noki to like bump up his coin count so he could turn in blues for 28 shines.
Uh,
And literally, he started Noki 200s before Mike started Noki 1.
uh-huh.
And Mike was about 30 seconds away from getting the shine, if that. Like, like he was in like the last part where you go all the way down to the bottom and then you have to like do the super jump up. Like he was in that tunnel, like right there.
Mm, wow. That wouldn't even be 30 seconds. That's like 20.
20, yeah, like 20. It was really close. Like that, the death in Serenity 2 is just really
Yeah.
what changed it.
And that, like, making mistakes in row control or even just bingo in general, it feels so awful. Because, like, let's say you lose a goal, like, in the moment from that, like, that just sucks. And then, like, when you lose a goal later on by, like, a few seconds and you know that if you hadn't made a mistake, that was the difference, like, it just
Mhm.
really sucks.
Yeah,
Um,
it's unfortunate, but Urinal Mike is definitely the come up player from starting the tournament to
yeah,
now. Like,
definitely showed that he was good at bingo.
seed 18 or whatever, but a convincing 3-0 over Oatflaker and then a really close 3-2 to SB who's, seed 7. Like
Hmm.
that takes some serious skill.
Yeah, all right. All right, our last winners round 3. Popo Ramato.
Oh no.
There's a lot of orange on this card.
This is the card, and this is the match of commentators not paying attention.
Yikes.
So the real reason why this card is 90% orange, um, Popo was going through Pinna, right? He went through Rico first, and he's into Pinna, right? And he's getting linked pairs, and he gets all of the linked pairs except one half of the X in Pinna, and then he leaves, but he clicks it, and I'm pretty sure the commentators DM'd him immediately after he left, but they didn't unclick it until he was well into Bianco, like almost a full minute later, and he's like started PD, and they confirmed he only had 4.5. So they unclicked it while he was in PD, and then Ramato, who was basically doing all the blue coin goals on this card, was like, I have 4 right now. And then
Yeah.
he went to go get uh his 5th and then into Pinna to get 8. And by the way, Ramato actually didn't get 8. He got 7.5. He didn't get
What?
the other triangle, but
Oh
no one
my
seemed to notice.
god.
Nobody noticed. I only noticed because I was watching it back. Nobody noticed. No one in chat, none of the commentators, none of the players, nobody noticed that Ramato got 7.5.
Wow.
But yeah, that was just destructive.
hmm Yeah, and
Um,
it really sucks to do something like that because that just hurts your mind. Like, because not only do you lose a goal, which could be pivotal, like it just hurts because then like it throws off your whole route when something like that happens, and it really like it's just not good for your mind, and then your route gets thrown off, and then everything's bad.
yeah, so it kind of crumpled from the linked pairs, and then Ramato was just so far ahead in blues. You see all the totals on here. He got all of those. He got Yoshi.
Yeah.
He
We're,
did all of Pinna Park, and then he ended it really safe, um, by going for like the 25 shines at the end, because I think he was only like 2 shines away from 4 from 3, but he had like 21 shines and like 15 blues, so he needed 5 more blues and
2 shines.
2 more shines, and he picked like really awkward blues and really awkward shines to like get 25.
That's weird. Yeah, because what he would have had Pinna, would have been close in Gelato, and at least one in Pianta. He probably did progress somewhere else.
Yeah, so he was close to a couple, I think, and he had a lot of options at that point. And
Yeah.
yeah, Popo's route just kind of went to pieces after he lost the linked pairs, because losing 5 immediately gave that over to Ramato, and then he lost 8 on because he was on the way there, and then Ramato just
hmm
basically clicked like everything else that he was even remotely
Yeah.
like near. So
And it sucks because even if Popo was closer, like he still would have had to defeat Shadow Mario and Bianco or 7 birds to get the one row that he was close to.
mhm. Which
Which,
is
hmm
it's almost like the same length, unless you're not
yeah.
getting birds at all.
hmm
So
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate that how it happened. I didn't see Popo winning this, even if he got the linked pairs. But
Probably
it ma-
not, but.
it would have made Row 2 look a lot nicer.
hmm
So it's definitely unfortunate, but it happens. That was the dark ages of Row Control when we didn't have a stat man or a stat page in general.
Shoutouts to our
Um,
Statman, by the way.
Shoutouts to Pcross, who made like the most based
It is so
stat
good.
sheet I've ever seen.
I was looking at it one day and I was like, oh my god, this stat sheet is super epic.
Dude, it's so clean. So yeah, now that we have stat sheets and statmans, it's really nice, and it makes it a lot easier for commentators to actually focus on commentating.
hmm But yeah, all right. So we're going into losers right now. So this first match is Seti versus Pogo. Pogo in blue, Cheddar in pink.
Oh, so this was one I commentated, and it was all right for about the first half, and then after the first half is when it started becoming really sad to watch.
hmm
Said he went to Rico for blues. He got the 15, I think. Yeah, he got the
Probably.
15. And then Pogo clicked off Gelato 2 hiddens, and Seti had gotten the 25. In the course of the bingo, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Pogo keeps clicking more goals. Seti clicks like a couple others. Seti delay clicked 25 coins in Rico by like 20 minutes and never got anything else in that row.
Oh my god. Yeah, I can see that because I think it looks like what is this, Pogo? Pogo got 3 red coins super early on.
Yeah, Pogo was gunning for the secrets and the reds. Like I think his first 3 goals were Gelato hiddens, secret shines, 3 red coins.
Hmm.
And honestly, that's like a pretty solid start. Like all things considered on this card, it's not that bad.
Hmm.
Um, More blues for Seti. Like
Yeah.
just he went to Gelato after being done with Rico.
Those are the only goals that Seti got.
He got every single blue coin goal on this card, other than
Hmm.
the butterflies, which is just mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, and
Um,
it looks like it wouldn't have been even that good because like let's say he wins row 5 by some like getting 25 lives in like Bianco 1 or something, then well, then I guess he could win row 4 and then he could contest row 3 if he like went to Serena.
the funny thing is, Seti was at a position at every single point in this bingo where he could have won if he knew what he was doing. He spent a good 10 minutes, I'm pretty sure it was about 10, maybe a little bit less than that, in Bianco, trying to get 20 blues from Bianco, which was a little
Wow.
painful. He was in Bianco 4. I think he had 15 for about 5 of those 10 minutes and then could not find the final 5, or it was like really slowly getting there.
Dang.
Um, Went to Pianta to finish out his linked pairs, and then went back to Bianco and started grinding lives. He got like 14 or something like that out of the 25 from Bianco 1. Then
Hmm.
he baited himself into going into Serena
Yeah, I remember
for the
seeing that.
hidden,
I thought that was
for
super
the
weird.
hidden in Serena and the 10 blues. At which point, Pogo got the other Piantissimo and then went to Bianco 1 and got the rest of his lives.
Uh yeah, looking at it now, like I don't know if Cheddar would have got the 25 lives. 'Cause I don't know how long he spent in Bianco 1, but like that would have at least made it like significantly closer.
So I was talking about this like while I was commentating. I was like, Pogo is more like he's really set up right now. But Chetty can still win if he gets the lives all the way through, then goes to Serena, then gets pin apart condos.
Yeah, that would have still worked actually. Yeah, because what?
or
Pogo didn't
or
have any
like
Serena progress, did he?
like no, he did not have any Serena progress. So
Yeah, well then I guess you would have come down to a slight mind game. Like if they both went into Serena at the same time, then you have to figure out whether you want to do the 1 hidden or the 10 blues first.
mhm,
And so I guess you probably would make the call that Pogo is going to go for the 10 blues. You do that first because
mhm,
that would help him more, and then you do the 1 hidden later.
mhm. I mean, and then he had a lot of worlds open anyway, so he could have done 9 shines from a single level as a backup if he needed to. Um, he had a pretty good understanding of where he was because Chetty started doing 2 Piantissimos. He was in Pianta 2, and Eel got clicked. And he, with this
Mm,
really good recognition, he was like, oh, I'm not going to win 2 Piantissimos. So he left to start getting lives. And we were like, he can still win this. He just needs to get lives, get the Pinahundos, go to Serena, or go to Serena and then get the Pinahundos, whatever he
mhm.
thinks was more important. Because at that point, it's a 50-50. He
Yeah,
got halfway through the lives and then's like, I should be fine. I'm gonna go Serena whenever into Serena.
yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that lives play was definitely looking subpar.
it was definitely rough. So Pogo earned this one a little bit, and a
Yeah,
little bit of Chetty not
throwing.
routing well. Yeah, it was definitely like another thing that we were a little unhappy with at the time. It was just really painful to watch for the commentators. It was the row two because he had the 25 from Rico for the longest time, and he
Yeah.
just never did anything with it.
Uh-huh.
Like he could have gone to Pinna.
Try to get
He had to go to Pinna.
cannonballs.
He had to go to Pinna anyways to get the linked pairs. Could have tried for the cannonballs. Could have tried for the 25 shines because you're getting 70 plus blues.
Which, yeah.
I think he actually ended with like 80 or something like that.
Wow. You don't see that
It
in row
was
control much anymore.
ridiculous.
But yeah.
So yeah, Pogo moved on. Chetty knocked out 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Be like that
Um,
sometimes.
it'd be like that sometimes. But yeah, it was definitely just a rough match. It was a little frustrating to see a contender literally get only blue coins for about an hour 15.
Yeah, especially when it's not like Ramato or something, where it's like, oh, this play actually makes a lot of sense for him to get blue coins only.
Hmm.
But yeah, we're gonna move on. This is Libra versus Yatto. Um,
This was an interesting match.
yeah, Libra got a lot of goals here, like a lot of them.
it it was a lot. Um, Remembering this match because I think I commented with the Braguy. The first goal Libre got on this card was Rico 100s. He did Rico 100s as his first goal,
Neat.
and it was fine because he got Rico 100s. He got the Blues and Bianco, uh, the 15 Blues from Gelato. Went to Pianta, got the hundreds there, then into Pinna, got the 15 blues. And I had even noted, I was like, Libre has one in every row and every column without matching. He was literally
Without.
playing Sudoku with bingo in
That is
every row and every column without
hilarious.
matching. And Libre, so if you think or Chetty ending with like 70 or 80 blues is ridiculous, Libre ended with 90 plus. 90 plus blues.
So I got the 75, and then where do you get another? Why do you get another 15 blues? Oh, for like.
He ended up he like turned in his blues at some point and then yeah, got more shines. But meanwhile, the entire time, Mr. Yatto, the legendary man himself, was about 2 shines and 10 blues short of a Bianco FCIW.
Hmm.
He
Wait for
started
what?
Bianco,
Oh, I guess he did Bianco. Oh, I see. He got the 4 red coins in Bianco.
went all the way up to Bianco 8, went to PD2's spot for Bianco 5, got the blue there, and then exited area, and then went to Gelato, and then did Gelato 1 through 4.
What the heck?
Got the secrets, got the birds, or got the sandbird, and then went to Pinna to finish out his red coins and defeat Shadow Mario.
Nice. What a good route for the 5 goals he wanted to get.
It was interesting to see at the very least.
Yeah. But yeah, this one ended up a lot closer than it probably should have been. But I guess like Yatto was
Yeah.
never really in a great position to get any goals. Maybe like Pinna
No.
5, but I guess Libre probably got that like super early on and then never got to feature Shadow Mario.
I think he was Pin of 5 from the back covers was actually about 1 shine difference.
Okay.
But once Libre clicked that, Yatto just did it normally and then did Shadow Mario. And at that point, Libre went to Noki and then went into Serena.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got Serena 1 as his last boss and his 28th shine. And it came out of the level and he still hadn't clicked the 2. And Braguy and I were like, please click the goals. Please don't start doing something else. And it took him a minute and then he clicked it.
Okay. That's good. All right, that was that match.
So yeah, that happened.
Anyways, oh god.
It was just a big skill difference between Libra to Yatto.
Mhm.
So
Mind the quality of the card. This match didn't get restreamed. It was recorded by Braguy but never uploaded, I guess. So
it
I
got it got locally recorded and then it got uploaded before some Saturday match. But
does it
yeah,
exist anywhere? I was trying to
it
find it
exists.
and I couldn't find it. I guess I didn't look hard enough.
It's I'm pretty sure it's the first video after the first Pape recap if you look at all videos, but
All
this
right.
is
Well,
yours truly versus Linky.
mhm.
I am blue, Linky is yellow. Now, considering probably nobody watched this match, I guess I have to explain it in full by myself.
Go for it.
Um, I started out Rico, and I was pretty content on doing row 3, 4, and 5. And I was in Rico, I got Rico, and I got the blues, and then I was like, okay, this is fine. And then I went to Gelato, got the blues there. I'm like, this is fine. Got PD because I was trying to get the bosses, and I was gonna get 5 linked pairs at some point, and then try and get the Delfino shines or the hundreds, depending on what got clicked.
Mhm.
And I went back to Rico. The first goal Linky clicked was 10 Delfino shines. I was like, uh-oh.
All right.
So at that point, I had 1 linked pair, and I was like, he's already into Pinna. So
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up through Rico 6 or Rico 5, get my 3rd boss, and I went to Pinna, and I got 4 boss shines. And this is pretty much the only thing that matters in this entire bingo is me getting 4 boss shines forced Linky
Oh,
to get
I
3
see.
100 shines.
Yeah.
And that sunk a lot of his time.
When did he do
And
that?
from
Did he do that like early on?
once I clicked 4 bosses, he started doing it early on. He went
Oh,
through
wow.
he did Pinna 100s, he did Pianta 100s, did Gelato 100s, I believe, in a secret,
Okay.
and then at the very end, he was trying to do Rico 100s.
And that's when you
Um,
got that one. Oh, I guess that makes
yes,
sense because you probably got the Rico 100, which probably
I got that
for.
as the last goal,
Oh,
actually.
okay. Never. Okay. I thought that would have happened earlier on. All
That
right.
was there's another discussion to be had about that one.
All right.
Um, I went to Pinna, I went back to Rico, I got my 2 hiddens. At that point, he clicked 1 hidden in Pinna and 4 red coins. So I was like, row 2 isn't looking that great anymore because I have to commit to bosses and to Rico hard and then get into Serena.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I do as a backup? So I looked around at the card. I'm like, 2 from 5, 5 hiddens, Nogi.
Yeah. That
So
makes a
I
lot of
get
sense.
I go back to Bianco, get the hidden there, go to Gelato, get another shine there. Actually, get another 2 shines there. As because I got the hidden when I got the 15 blues, and then I got Gelato 1 and 1 again as another hidden, and then I went to Noki, and I beat out 3 shines from Noki by about a shine and a half, if that.
Okay. That's still a pretty
And
big
then
lead.
from there, I had row 3, I had row 4, and then I needed just row 1. So I went back to Pinna to collect the remaining 20 blues that I needed in
Mhm.
Pinna 3.
Yep.
Do all Pinna 3, get my 25th shine, and then go to do Rico 100s.
Nice.
And I had about a 3-minute head start on Rico 100s. I was about 15 seconds away from losing that goal. Because somebody does not know how to use the rocket nozzle
Oh my
in
god.
Rico. I spent a good 3 minutes falling down to the water, bonking, not remembering the Rico 3 100s route because I had not done Rico 3 100s in a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was about a 15-second difference from him. He had 80 coins when I clicked the shine. So,
Dang. Yeah,
so
I
yeah, that was
remember.
that was a reminder. Please practice your Rico 100s.
Yeah, I remember when the lockout tournament was, or the 2v2 lockout tournament was happening. Everyone only knew Rico 100, and no one remembered how to do Rico 100. And now I feel like in row control, because Rico 100 isn't as good, like more
Mhm.
people like need to learn the Rico 100 route, but people don't know it, and then it just like turns into bad stuff.
So yeah, I was trying to do Rico 3 100s on really old 79 and 96 knowledge. So I like vaguely remember the route, and I'd seen people do it in previous bingos. So I was like, I can do this. I know how to do it, and it was just really sloppy.
Uh-huh.
So, but had I not gotten that, I was still okay for Shadow Mario. Linky had a shine on me in Pinna, so what I probably would have done is gone to get Yoshi at the very least while he's doing Pinna Park,
Oh, I see.
and then go do Noki 2 over again because I didn't
To get
get
the
the boss
boss.
there to get the boss because that would be my fifth, and then go into Serena because he would know that I had the two hiddens in Rico, so you'd probably think like, oh, he's really far in Rico, he's gonna do that first or something like that.
No, yeah,
So and then
that makes sense.
I would do Manta, and then I'd get like into Serena 2 and then click off 6 bosses or something like that, and then do
Yeah.
4 and then get Rico 8 if I needed to.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. That would be a good backup play. Yeah, do you have anything else to say about that one? So I
Mm.
guess Linky's route was just he went into Pinna, he got a lot of Pinna things, and then did you just kind of like beat him out to other things?
I beat him out to 3 shines from Noki and the two from 5,
I see. Yeah. Wow. How did you
which
not?
kind of
How
just
did you get to Noki before him? Did
he
he just
spent
never go to Noki?
I think he spent a lot of time doing those hundreds. Is
Oh,
why
he did three hundos. That makes way more sense now.
he did 3 hundos, and then he also did Pin a 3 hoverless,
Yeah. Oh,
which he fell down a number of times.
okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, the 300s just does not seem like it was the play.
And he ended up he was about to do a fourth 100. It honestly confused me when he clicked 3 100s and didn't click Rico 100.
Yeah,
I was like,
there's
is he baiting me right now? But I did Rico 100s anyways.
yeah. That cuz what? Yeah. I mean, I guess if you want to do Pinna, that makes sense, but like Pianza or Rico is about the same speed. And he should have had oh, I guess he wouldn't have had Bianco 3 for 100 coin a secret to do that instead of Gelato 1. Although
Yeah.
he could have done Pinna and then you do EYG while doing the 100 coins. Or if you have Pinna 5 done, you can just go into the park, which would
Mhm.
have also been a pretty good play.
So yeah, it was a match. It definitely this the main point of this match though, beyond the beginning and the end, was just me getting 4 boss shines and giving up row 5, but forcing him to
To
commit
do it.
to either 25 lives or 3 100s. Really tipped it towards me because I forced him to pick between two of the worst goals. So
Yeah. But yeah, I think that will do for that match. Moving on, this is Mason versus Cenadrill. So Mason in green, Sin in purple. Mason with the 4 rows. Very classy.
I do remember watching this. I do remember at the end, everyone was like, "Mason's totally going for the swag points now."
Yeah. So the big thing oh wait, hang on. So before we talk about this match, there were 2 matches that were supposed to happen. Oat versus Nurgesh and Guy versus Oddme. Those 2 didn't happen, but Oat would
Mm.
most likely have beaten Nurgesh,
Who quit due to school
and Guy would
and
have most likely beat Oddme, but I
who
don't know.
quit due to his sunshine disc not working.
Oh, that's why? Okay.
Yes, that was the reason Oddme gave us.
Okay, good enough.
So 0-2 for your boy on me and Nurgesh. On me, 2 forfeits. Nurgesh at least played a match.
He did play a match. Um,
Respectable.
so yeah, the big thing here is Mason game overed. So
It did happen.
he was in like Rico 4, and then he game overed. He had to unclick the 15 from Rico, which gave Cenadrill the knowledge that he game overed, which, I mean, you can't really do much with that, but like he at least knew that that happened.
Mhm.
Um, and then even still, like Mason's route overall just was like it was good. I think
Mhm.
afterwards he even still did the 15 from Rico. Um,
How do you game over and then get back into Rico and still win 15 blows? What?
I wish I could tell you.
Oh
Um,
man. I wish I could play Paper and he would game over like 20 minutes in. I'd actually
uh,
have a chance of winning then.
maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Um, but yeah, it's I don't really I didn't watch this match too carefully, but it looks like
I only caught. Yeah.
Mason's route just like works out better. Like he got all these blue coin goals, which stacked pretty nicely.
Yeah, the 10 from Noki, the 20 from Noki. I see 2 Piantissimo races,
Two
75 total
totals,
blues. Yeah, I
links,
see why. I see
birds.
why he ended up getting 4 rows even after game overing, but
Hmm. And Cenadrill probably just was not experienced in getting blue coins, so it was probably a very safe bet for Mason to go for those. So
yeah, and Mason had previously been Cenadrill in the Scrim Week. Um, as far as I heard, it was a shutout.
yeah, it probably was.
So
Um,
yeah, newer players, but Mason a little bit more experienced than Cenadrill. So
yep. All right, our next match. So this is RSW Zofos. Before we talk about this, Reed Blood Whale was supposed to happen, but that one didn't happen, which was kind of a bummer
that's a
because
bummer.
it would have been interesting to see two any% players like go head to head in bingo, but
Because Reed, infamous for his routing skills and planning strategies, and Blood Whale, infamous for his knowledge of blue coins,
that
to
was
put it
too
lightly.
that was too savage for the viewers. But yeah, that matchup would have been pretty funny. I think Reed would have still came out on top because at least he has enough knowledge, and Bloodwell usually spends a lot of time trying to get goals that he's not very familiar with. But I guess if Bloodwell got like a good card, might have been interesting. But yeah,
Yeah. If it was like
um,
really shine oriented, I think it would have been a little bit more closer. Definitely.
mhm,
All right, RSW Zofos. RSW is purple, Zofos is orange. Now, this was another one of those matches I commentated, and it was painful for Zofos
mhm,
because the first 3 goals that RSW clicked, which is 1 hidden in Bianco, 5 blue coin enemies, and 2 rocket nozzles,
mhm.
were the first 3 goals that Zofos started working towards.
Oh,
So you're like 20 minutes into the bingo. You lost all progress on the 3 goals you were working towards most.
mhm.
And then RSW just cleaned up from there. He went straight to Penna, got the secrets that he needed, and then went to Rico.
Yeah, the route was just really cohesive because 5 and 7 enemies in the same row as one hidden and two rockets. That works out really well. And then
And it gives you a great excuse to go to Rico anyways, because Rico 8.
exactly, so you don't have to bother
Like,
with the 100 coin or the 20 from Noki, which are decent backup goals.
mhm.
Um, but then the 4 from 3 was good because you have all that progress in Bianco and Rico already. The 4 bosses because you're close to that. Like
Hmm.
his rat just played out really well.
Yeah, Zofos just kind of got a little bit bodied by the first 3 clicks, and he was in gelato at that time, so he finished out the 2 hiddens, and then from there he was like, I guess I go to Pinna, and then he got the linked pairs, but by that point it was just RSW was just so far ahead. It was really unfortunate for Zofos.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was a match. Um,
It's a great card too. Honestly, Raj W played this really well with the rows he
yeah,
selected.
I do like this. What were the other rows? So row one has 45 total, which I guess would be, mm,
That's probably isn't that the lowest total?
I think, it might be. Is there 40? I don't know. I could
I
pull up.
don't think I've seen anything lower than a 45. Honestly, 45 in row one and then 50 in row three.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
was just looking at.
I
Along with like
mean,
you have two short 100 coins. You have 100 coin in Pianta, 100 coin in Noki.
mhm.
But then I guess row one is pretty garbage otherwise because Serena 3 no clipping involves Yoshi and 6 hiddens is a long goal.
You would have to commit to blues and Noki because you would want the 45 total. You would want both Canimals and then
Exactly.
the Hondo from Pina or Pianta, and then you do the Hondo from Noki. You get the 50 total blues, and then you get the 20 blues in Noki as well.
Yep.
But those are just the outside options of what
Yeah.
all the other good goals you could have picked from.
Yeah, because even then, like let's say Zofos did that, you're still losing the other 3 rows. So he had to contest them in some way, and
Yeah, he just
he probably didn't
lost
have a
in
way to
speed.
contest them because he was last into Pinna, so he couldn't get 5 from the back, which put him behind for 4 from 3, and then he was already losing bosses.
Mhm.
So it would have been hard. He would have had to like rush bosses in like Rico or something and then get 9 from a level. Which even then, RSW was still closer to because he got Rico 8 at some point.
Yeah, it was his last goal, I believe, to end the bingo, but he had 3 worlds he could have chosen from to get 9 from a single level in.
I guess so, because he had Pinna 5 too. And 5 secrets,
Yeah.
so he probably got Pinna 6 at some point.
Yes, I do believe he went to Pinna 5 and then got Pinna 6 and then went to Rico from there.
Why would he not have just. Oh, I guess 9 from. Never mind. I'm dumb. uh.
Because he'd already done the 4 from 3 and the 4 bosses.
Mhm.
So he just needed Pinna 5 from the back and then gets the last secret that he needs and then went
Yeah.
to Rico.
But yeah, that was that match. So this takes us through losers round 2. Moving on. So this is the first round of losers round 3, which is Pogo versus Libra. This match was actually really interesting. Um, do you want to elaborate, Deathline? Go for it. I know what
Yeah,
happened, but
Libre
like I think you have a better idea of what happened.
Libre Pogo. Honestly, Libre was the more favored victor of this out for the outcome, but
Hmm.
as we can see, Pogo ends up winning 3-2, and really it just came down to how Pogo used his information. This is a good card to study for information because he knew that Libre, he got the M's, he got the blues, what he needed, blah 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 blah. But there was a point where, and this is pretty much at the end of the bingo. I'm skipping a lot of the mid game, but the defeat all 3 Gooper Blooper bosses, Pogo delayed that by the perfect amount of time based on the previous goal clicked. And Libre did Rico 5, did Noki 1, was like a hit away from Noki 2 being done, and then it got clicked.
Hmm.
And at that point, um, Pogo went to Pianta and just finished out Pianta. And then because Libre had gone to Pianta, as you see from Goopy Inferno, and then the M graffitis,
Hmm.
and he was up in 6 while Libre was in 4. Gets Shadow Mario, gets into Gelato, and then clicks it, and then just he wins out on Gelato 100s by a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, the main thing here is the end, because like both players had routes that like didn't exactly contest each other. Like Libre's route, I'm actually looking at Libre's route and I kind of like it a lot, because like you end
He
up
went
being,
Rico to Gelato to Pianta.
you get the M's, you get the Pianta, do Penna where you get all that stuff. and then end up in Serena to get those blues.
And
Um,
honestly, there is another thing that is of note. So both players were getting the 5 blue coin enemies, and they got 5, or Pogo got 5 and was in Gelato 1 doing the secret. And Libra got into Gelato to start doing blue coins, the 15 blue coins, and he already had the 4 enemies. He was
oh,
right there and could have gone to 5th while Pogo was delay clicking it by like 8 years, which is really risky for 5 blue coin enemies.
how
And
do you have four? Oh, so he did all. Oh, I guess he was they competing for two hidden?
I believe they at least Pogo
Actually,
was.
I guess that makes sense because Libra was trying to get the three blooper bosses, so they probably were both going for that goal. Okay, that makes more sense.
So yeah, Pogo lucked out honestly with the 5 blue coins click because
Yeah,
Libre could have gone that goal first if he went that way. And honestly, Libre spent a hot minute doing 15 blues from Gelato.
really. Wow.
Like Pogo like finished what he needed in Gelato, then went to Pinna, I believe, to get more shines, 2 from 5, things like that, more hiddens,
Hmm.
and it just really sank time for Libre. And then Libre finally finishes that. Pogo probably also went to Bianco to get his hiddens at the end, 5 hiddens.
Yep.
Libre went to Pinna and then did Pinna 3 hoverless. Well, Libre is a god at the normal Pinna 3. Um, the hoverless was a little painful to watch.
That's
And
unfortunate.
while Libre was doing that, Pogo went and got Hundos in Pianta, which was really big brain. Because he got it wasn't that big brain because he just finished out the row and he kind of needed 1 or 4 more, but really just getting that didn't allow Libre to get that, which he could have gotten,
What, the
and then
bloops?
no, the Pianta, the Hundo from
Oh,
Pianta, because if Libre gets that, then Pogo has to commit to Serena
yeah.
or to Birds, which he was getting neither
And
of.
likely birds because Libre would have been up for no clipping,
Hmm.
which then puts a lot of pressure on Pogo. Although I guess you just end up doing birds at the very end, but then you risk like if Libre hard commits to birds.
Yeah. So
Um,
Libre doing more Pinna things, got Pinna Hundos, got Lily Pad. He claims row 2 while Pogo's going around the worlds getting 2 from 5. And then after that, yeah, Libre just got super played by the delay click of
yeah.
the all 3 booper bosses.
Hmm. Yeah, and so like Pogo was playing to the one win condition he had, which was the three bloopers delay click, which he delayed until he was in Pianta 3 because that's at least where he knew Libre was up to. So then he could get the feed shot on Mario and then do Gelato 100 at the end if Libre left it. Which was like that was a like kind of throw on Libre's part because he could have done Gelato 100 like significantly earlier. Um
Libre thought he didn't have any Pianta progress, and
which
Libre
does make
had
sense.
through 3. So
But
yeah,
even
because he
still,
thought he only did the 100.
hmm I guess that's all you know. Yeah,
Only a shine. So
I think if I'm
um,
Libre, I like the play where you like half commit to it, so you do like Piazza 4-5 or something, and then you start doing Gelato 100.
yeah, that leaves you doing the 50-50. As we've seen a lot in the bingos towards the end, where you either have 2 win conditions or you're really fighting for something and you don't know which one you're gonna get. Um, leaves you in a much better position depending on which goal they click, and then you could just play reactive from there.
Hmm.
But Libre just hard committed to Pianta and then just lost from there.
Yeah,
Um,
it was really unfortunate for Libre. He was like right there.
and honestly, I will say Pogo was almost gonna lose because he was only like 2 shines if that. I think he was like finishing 7 when Libra started 6 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then the hundreds, both of their hundreds were kind of bad, but
Yeah.
Pogo just had like a 30-second, 40-second lead on Libre, so it was really big. Pogo had the bad chain chomp RNG in Pianta 4 and
Oh
let him
yeah.
go really early and then got in front of the chain chomp and got him to go backwards
It was
somehow.
really weird. I remember seeing that.
And he basically let him go like almost all the way back to the start, and he's like, I have to drag him. So he had to go through like 2 drag cycles to get the change out, which is like losing him like almost a minute and a half. It was a lot. It was a lot of time.
Hmm.
So Pogo almost lost it, but he ended up winning, and he won convincingly just because Libre didn't make the right decision at the end.
Uh-huh. Still a really close one. Um, but yeah, that was that match. This is Deathline v Oatflaker.
The greatest match you will ever watch. No, it was not. It was all right. Um, this
Is this the
very
finals?
very barely got a restream thanks to your boy Paper. Um, no commentary, but people were popping off in chat.
Wait, you were red, weren't you?
I was red.
Why is this card not complete? Am I just I'm not dumb, right?
I clicked 6 boxes,
You clicked
and
6. Okay.
I had 6 bosses, and I had the bottom. This
I
card is not complete.
I guess I didn't get the card at the very end. Oops. Oh, well, I don't know. Whatever.
Just draw purple over 25, and I had the red for 6 boss, 10 blues, and butterflies.
God dang it. Hold on.
So
You talk. I'm gonna find
yeah,
the card.
explain. So basically, since Oatflaker let himself get 3-0'd by Mike due to some Serena nonsense, Oat was sent to an early losers. Um, he had a convincing win over Nirgesh, where Nirgesh didn't even play at all, and moved on to losers round 3. And I had to beat Linky, which I did, to play Oat. And Oat was definitely the more likely to win of this matchup between me and him. I mean, C2 versus C10, it's quite a bit of a difference. And Oat has been hailed as a bingo god. Can play really well against Ramato, can play pretty well against Paper, against all the top seeds. And he was really well set up to win this card. I had started with Rico as well as we just rushed Rico. He won the 15 blues from Rico because I was having some tech flub pretty bad. He at this point bailed on Rico and went to Gelato to get all the Gelato gold. And I had stayed in Rico, and I had started Rico through Hoverless, and I bonked, and I gave up on Rico through Hoverless, and I went to start doing Rico 2 hidden in case he was doing Rico 3 Hoverless, and clicked it. Get all the way through Rico 2 hidden, he didn't click it. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm just going to take Rico 3 Hoverless now. Go back in, get Rico 3 Hoverless. At this point, I knew I had lost Gelato. So I'm like, I have to give up Gelato. What can I get? So I hard committed to the Delfino Shrines into Pinna. And so while Oat is getting 4 shines from Gelato, 15 blues, the rest of his hiddens, the hundreds, the just all the blues he needs, I got enough. I had like 6 or so Delfino shines, and I went to Pinna, and I hard committed to Pinna. I got the hidden, and I stayed all the way through till Shadow Mario. Got Shadow Mario, and I really hard banked at this point that I was like, I'm gonna have to commit to row 5 because I'm not gonna win row 2, and I don't want to do row 1.
Yeah.
I only wanted to get row 1 enough so I
Could scare Oat.
could scare Oat into doing 25 lives or 3 100s again, like I did with Linky. And so I get the butterflies. I get all 3 in Penna after doing Shadow Mario, which was a godsend for me. I finish up my Delfino shines, and I get into Pinna, or not Pinna, I get into Noki. And I delayed my 9 shines from Delfino click, which is actually, in hindsight, a little dumb. I was doing it because I thought he was going to rush Noki with me and get 25 total.
I see.
Or the 6 bosses. Because he only needed one more goal in row 3 to win that row.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up through Noki 1, and then I click it, and Oat was probably a shine away from 9 shines in Delfino.
Wow.
So he had a number of options, and then I get the boss from Noki 2, and
Mm-hmm.
I defeated both cannibals, which I clicked off after I did the boss. I turn in my blues for 1 shine, and I have 24. At this point, Oat has 22. No, he had 23 and 15 blues, or no, 7 blues, something like that. He was short enough blues, but he went into Noki to get the blues, get a shine, so he had P24, and then he would turn into blues to get 25.
Mm-hmm.
I turn in my blues. I'm at 24. I go back into Rico to do Rico 4, and luckily I do it first try without dying, and I snipe 25 shines by no more than 15 seconds,
Ooh.
if that. It might have been
Okay.
10. And that allowed me to edge my way in to Serena because I knew Oat didn't have Yoshi. So I finish out my 6 shines from Rico to get another boss. And then I go to Serena,
To get your
get
last
Serena
boss.
1, get my last boss, do Serena 2, do Serena 3, get the blues. Now, this is where I'm glad there weren't any commentators because I was having some difficulties remembering that you can't banana clip on the first and second floor.
Yeah.
And I just had an aneurysm while I am at 9. And for what it's worth, I didn't collect the blue coin from the stone tablet sign thing
Okay.
outside because it doesn't show up in Serena 1. And I didn't know when it started showing up. I knew it started showing me up in 6 at the very latest. So I was like, I don't know when it shows up. So, oops. And so
Okay.
I gave up, got the shine, went into Serena 4.
So
Oat is in Serena 2 or 3 at this point,
Oh wow.
and he's like outside getting the coins. And I get into the lottery and I get the coin. And from there, it's GG. I go to Rico, and Oat goes to Pinna to start doing Pinna
To get butterflies.
to get butterflies. But there was 2 decisions that really set Oat back, and one of them was doing a dumb and doing Bianca 3 100s.
I see that.
And his Bianca 3 100s were not the greatest.
Okay.
And
And then doing lives.
he started grinding lives to try and get me to go to row 1 when I got 25 instead of doing the 10 blues from Serena, but I was having none of that. And if he didn't do the live grinding, like the half live grinding and half to Serena, and just did Serena, he would have beat me. And then it would have been over because I would not have gotten 25 lives or 3 100s before him because he already had 2 100s. It was just 2 not great decisions that led into me getting what I needed to win. I got Lily Pad to force him to commit to row 1 if he needed it.
Yeah.
Things like that.
That makes sense. So what? So you started Rico? Is that
We
correct?
both started Rico.
Okay. And you beat
And
out Rico 3 hoverless, or
I lost the blues by 2 blues or a blue or something like that, and I stay in Rico.
Oh, and Oat doesn't. Okay, I see.
Oat doesn't. He goes to Gelato, gets all the Gelato things you see on the card.
Okay, this makes sense.
And I stayed for the hoverless. And then at that point, I realized, I was like, me staying for the hoverless and getting that goal means left, and he probably went to Gelato looking at the card. So I'm going to do 9 shines from Delfino and get it to Pinna.
That makes a lot of sense.
Which helped me get all the goals I needed at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I will say, please watch the Pinna 4 because I saved this 1 cycle, and that was like the greatest 1 cycle save ever. It was a really well timed side flip ground pound at the end because I missed the first turtle
Nice.
ground pound, so it was clutch. It was clutch. Honestly, that 10 seconds probably made a difference in the 25 shines race.
Probably. Yeah, I can see it.
So yeah, we both played pretty well. I don't think either of us died or played too terribly bad, other than me bonking a couple times in Rico 3 Hourless. But yeah, I happened to win because I made a few bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, Oat, unfortunately, considering he didn't actually play against Nuryesh, you can say he went 1-2. That's fine. He did go 1-2, but the legend of 0-2 Flaker now has been born. Sorry, Oat, but we love you.
It's okay. It's not like the 5th place curse or anything. So we made it through this time, fellas. Spoilers. But yeah,
Spoilers.
that will do for Deathline Oat. This match was good.
Oh, and by the way, I also died in Serena too.
Oh my god, Deathline.
at the very end on the spin jump, the momentum spin jump.
Yikes. Alright.
Yikes.
Well, so moving on. This is Guy versus Mason. I'm pretty sure I commentated like part of this match.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
I
you
did.
commentated half, and Braguy was there for most of it.
Maybe not.
Maybe it was Braguy and Larvae.
Maybe I didn't commentate this match. I don't know.
Either way, this match, looking at the card, it's honestly like it looks like it was a pretty convincing win for Guy. It was a lot closer than you might think.
Uh-huh.
um, there were a couple of key turning points. One of them was Guy winning out the pairs and the totals that Mason was trying to go for, because Mason started with 15 blue graffitis.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 40 total
And
was really close, wasn't it?
yeah, it was pretty close. Guy is just going on tear, gets his 5 reds, gets his 5 hit-ins. They both ended up realizing that they need lily pad because they were both in pinna. And Guy won lily pad by like 10 to 15 seconds.
I do remember that also. Lily pad was another key goal because then
So that was clutch. And then from there he won 5 and 6 reds.
Uh-huh.
Which 5 didn't matter and 6 actually didn't matter either way, but it helped him set up more for row 4 if he needed it.
Uh-huh.
At this point, Guy had gotten all of row 1, all of row 3, 2 in row 4, and 2 in row 5. He had the 25 lives, the 4 secrets. Or no, he had the secrets and the lily pad. And literally the last goal he needed was just 3 fruit ladies. And it pains me so much because everyone hates fruit ladies for some reason. It's like it's kind of an interesting goal for me because it's just right there. You can do it really whenever you want to, but you never know when it's going to happen. And it's always been a common thing where you should never do fruit ladies early. And it just it always happens towards the mid or the late. And literally, that was the last goal Guy needed. Nope. He started doing something else.
Doing lives. Doing lives.
He started doing row 2.
Okay.
And then he lost 25 shines. And then he started doing row 5, at which point Mason's like, I gotta block 3. Both racing for 3 ladies. Mason wins that by like 10, 15 seconds again. And then it's like, oh no, what do I do? So Mason's, trying. I think he went to go get Rico 100s or something like that at that point, or maybe
I think it was Gelato.
Gelato 100s, yeah, to finish up that. And then Guy went to Gelato, no, not Gelato, Bianca 1 to do 25 lives. I'm going to beat all of you for doing 25 lives in Bianca 1. That's not the intention of the goal.
I know, it was
Please stop doing it.
It was a common theme in like a lot of the matches that happened in this session, and I don't understand why. Like, it was really weird.
like I'm starting to get the science behind it, the bingo science. I mean, 25 lives is the max now with the beta update, but it's really not meant to be grinded in Bianca 1. But the problem is, every time people need the lives, they don't
They don't
have
have Serena.
Serena, or they don't have Yoshi and they have Serena available, or they don't have any Pianta progress because Pianta's not that strong in roll control.
Mhm.
So the best way to get lives at that point, if you don't want to do Serena whatevers, or you don't want to get into Pianta 5 hidden, is to go to
Bianca.
Bianca 1 because that's available at any time. Problem with that is everyone grinds lives in Bianca 1, and it's always 25 lives on the card, never 15,
Yeah.
ever.
15 is
So
almost to the point where you could route in if you're really smart about it without losing too much time. But yeah.
yeah, so
Uh yeah, that was Guy Mason. Moving on, this was Reed versus RSW. So Reed in red, RSW in purple. Um so RSW's route overall was just like a lot more cohesive than Reed's. Like you see the 3 secrets, the 5 secrets, the Serena synergy,
mhm,
the Rico goals.
mhm.
Um, I don't remember how this one started, but I know RSW
Um,
got Rico 3 hoverless and 1 hidden in Rico, and Reed went somewhere
RSW
else.
RSW started Rico. Reed started Gelato. So
Yeah.
Reed gets the hit and gets the hoverless. Um, no, RSW gets the hoverless, the hidden. Reed gets Gelato, Blues,
Oh,
and
fifth. Yeah.
Gelato hiddens.
Mhm.
And RSW was the first one to get into Penna because of Rico just being better the way he did it than RSW did. Or I keep mixing them.
Yeah.
Rasmus, I'm just saying Rasmus did Rico better than Reed did Gelato, so he got into Penna first. So he wins the 3 secrets, which allows him to win 5 secrets later. But he also won Penna 5 from the back coverless, which
Mhm.
just like really shut out Road 2 and really like was like
You mean row 3?
ha row 3. Man, I am just messing up today. And he was getting blue coin enemies, so it's like really big pressure on row 1, and he'd like really pressured to row 2, row 3, not row 2. Oh my god, I can't talk. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know what Reed was doing during that time, as most of us don't. Then at some point, Reed went to Noki to get the 3 shines from Noki, while Rasmus went to Serena to finish out the secrets and to get Serena 3 no clipping and to get 10
Yeah, wow,
blues
that's a lot of goals. That is a lot
and
of
to get
goals.
20 in case he needed it.
Uh-huh.
He didn't need the 20, but yeah, just he went to Serena and just got all those goals at once. So he was really set up for row 4. A lot better set up for row 5 because he already had the Rico progress. And at that point, RSW just gets the reds that he needs, I believe, and
I think,
takes out Shadow Mario.
yeah, commits to
And
Bianco
then
late. When would you get in Bianco progress? I guess for the enemies.
the enemies
The
early on.
secret, the reds. Okay, that makes sense.
And then Reed went to Penna to finish out 9 shines from a single level.
Neat.
So yeah, RSW was just he just had a lot better route. A lot better route. And a much better route than Reed did, and it was just very firm on what he wanted to do. Reed kind of did the Reed thing where he drifts through the wind during the match, and once he sees a goal clicked, he's like, maybe I'll start doing this one. Or he sees something else on the screen, he's like, maybe I'll start doing this now.
Or he eats a gold bird.
Or he eats the Goldberg and he's like, I have to get it now.
Um, but yeah, that was a big upset. I was not expecting that one, but RSW has been pulling out some pretty good routes, and it made him into. This is not top 8. No, wait, this is top. This is not top 8.
This is not top 8. This would have put him one short of top 8. This would have put him in the top,
Top
uh, top 12.
13. Top 12. 12.
Top 12.
12.
Top 12.
12.
Top 12. Yeah, on paper, Reed was supposed to win this. But like after the first couple of matches these players had, everyone including me, at least I'm pretty sure, and myself. I'm speaking for myself, not everyone here, but I know a couple others share this opinion. When we saw the Reed RSW matchup, we're like, yeah, our bracket predictions are wrong.
Yeah.
So it's
Uh.
just really interesting because Reed's such a good any percent player,
Mhm.
but when it comes down to bingo, the routing really makes a difference.
Mhm.
So I think this is one of the most complete cards we've seen as well in a bingo.
Yeah. What? 21 goals out of 25? That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of rows contested. The bottom two, row 4 and
Mhm.
5, were contested a bit. So that's why Reed went to Noki. He did 3 Noki and both Cannonballs.
Cannibals. Yeah. Worked out. Anyways, so this is Danny versus Pogo. Um, my notes literally say Danny got a lot of blues. Lol. And that is like exactly what he did. So Danny started out with the 15 from Pianta. Um, led that pretty much into I think into 15 M's. He got the birds going to pin up. Probably got linked pairs. Or no, he did Serena some point early on.
He did, yeah, he did a little bit of Cern early on, and then in
And
Serena,
then
I
major
think.
delay clicked it because he had information on where Pogo was.
So it's funny because like when you start watching this match, Danny had 1 goal, and then Pogo gets the 3 reds, the 2 hiddens in Gelato, and then
Hmm.
like the 1 hidden Pinna, right? So it's like
Uh-huh.
Pogo has 3 relatively good goals, and Danny only has 1, but Danny's really set up for blues. The next like 30 minutes go by, or like 20 something minutes go by, it's only Danny, while Pogo hard commits to 6 reds and 7 reds,
Yeah, I see that.
which made the commentator a little upset
Who was
at
commentating
the
this
time.
one? Did you commentate this?
I did not commentate this. Is the other person who's been commentating all the matches.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
the one who
At
shall
some
be
point,
unnamed.
both bells were clicked, but Danny literally just got blues this entire time. Like
Yeah,
that's all he did.
what
Like
eight?
other
Other
than
than one hidden in Serena, which was
it's all blues.
mainly to set up for the 10. Like Danny got 8
Yeah.
blue coin goals that worked really well. How could Pogo have contested this? I guess like maybe getting the links somehow. Probably getting the links, but that's like a hard commitment. Maybe you do that with like 2 from 5, so you're set up
I
for
don't
like
know.
row
I
1.
think I mean he was into Pinna, so he probably should have thought about doing Serena at the very least, or into Noki as well, right? Because
Well,
you're
Danny did
you're more
Serena so early on. Like he didn't have a. He really couldn't have contested. Well, maybe he could
yeah,
have
that's
contested
right.
10 Noki blues, and he would have been in the lead for 4 from 3 because he had progression.
Yeah.
I guess that would have been
Um,
the one way is you contest 10 and Noki, you win row 3, and then well, row 1 is still difficult at that point.
2 100s, Sandberg, Rico 8,
You
2
have to
from
make a
5,
lot of
20 in Pianta.
because those are all the
That's
goals that you just would kind of commit to. Like Rico A's you commit to, 100s you commit to, 20 in Pianta you commit to, Sandberg you commit to. So,
yeah, 2 from 5 is like the only one that you're like not hard committing, but
uh-huh,
it's not enough to win a row.
exactly. But yeah, Danny just kind of outspeeded Pogo and got a lot of
Yeah,
blues.
and while Pogo was just hard committing to only red coins is
Yeah, that
just unfortunate.
that does seem very interesting that he got the Reds. I guess if he got the links, I think the Reds play would have made more sense because then you at
Yeah,
least
didn't win.
get that row and then like you get row 4 and then you just have to somehow win out row 1 at that point. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and Danny never ended up clicking 60 total blues. I mean, he didn't need it, but yeah, Danny ended in Serena on 70 total blues, I
and that is
believe.
true. He never got 60 total, but he got
But
70.
did get 65 and 70. Honestly, it's kind of nuts that you have 3 total and it's like the higher total
Yeah,
amounts,
it's
but
all
60, 65, and 70, that's kind of nuts.
yeah.
Like, he got every blue coin goal on this card other than 20 blues from Pianta.
Yeah. And I guess so. Danny would have had a pretty decent backup of row 4 because he has the Serena progress. He would have got 60 total. And then so if you somehow win out 5 bosses, and even then you still have row 1 to play around with. So like,
And he got 6 birds, so I mean he did PD. Or he didn't, I mean he didn't have to do PD, but he probably did PD, did Manta, and had access to both bloopers that were really easy, and then went to Pinna, so
yeah.
yeah, he probably could have won row 4 if he needed to.
But yeah, that is that match.
That
Moving
was just
on.
overwhelming speed versus
hmm
a big difference in routing.
So this is Larvae versus Deathline.
This is a sad match. Honestly, this is probably one of the more hype matches to watch.
It
I'm not
does
gonna lie.
it does look very contested. 22 out of 25 goals.
Um, Larvae really earned this win. I had to make him work for it though. So Larvae started Bianco. I started Delfino plus
Wait,
Gelato.
who you are red, Larvae's blue?
I am red. Larvae is blue.
Okay. Just had to make sure we knew.
Yeah. So he started Bianco, and I started Gelato. I ended up clicking 2 Gelato hidden first, which Larvae mostly won on this card because of the information I gave him, and he just reacted to that very well and played it out much better than I did. So he knows that I was gunning for the 9 shines from Delfino. He knows I had the 2 hiddens. He delay clicked 15 blues in Bianco. He went to Rico. I pulled out the only instance you will ever see in any bingo match of early fruit ladies, because I am the only advocate of early fruit ladies.
Hey,
And
I like early fruit ladies in some scenarios.
in some scenarios, and I comboed it with Chuckster. So I did the banana, pineapple, and durian, and then I went from durian to Chuckster to into window. And I held on to it for a while. I kind of failed Pachinko a bit, and Larvae. I only learned of this after the match, but this is a funny thing to in the bingo meta. I clicked 3 fruit ladies at some point when Larvae started or was into Rico 4, and he said he looked over because he saw the goal clicked and he died in Rico 4 because of it.
Yes.
I was like, I'm defining the meta. You have to know when your opponent's in a secret and then click it. So from there, I went to Pinna. Larvae went to Pinna after me. I got Yoshi. Opened Serena, did some more Delfino shines, got 9, got 10. And while that happened, while I was getting 9 and 10, excuse me, Larvae clicked 4 boss shines. Now, my goal was to get into Serena at this point, to do the 4 shines from Serena and to get Serena 3 no clipping, because that was the last one I needed for row 3. And I did Manta, and I'm thinking, oh god, what if, for whatever reason, he did Manta? I'm so screwed. And I don't know why I had this thought process. I mean, it's a valid thing to think. Like maybe he went straight Rico, or only did Rico 1 and then went to Pinna and then did Manta, right? You know, that's 4 bosses. I'm like, I was like, I have to give up on row 1 now because I'm not gonna win that or the 25 shines, even though I have the shine lead with the blues or the hiddens. Because this card is kind of weird because it has a lot of like lengthy goals like Serena, and it has like 9 and 10 and Delfino. I was like, I when I saw this, I was like, I hate this because I have to go for 9 and 10, and I kind of want Serena, but if I do Serena, I'm not gonna win 25 probably. Which, and I think if I just stayed in Serena, it would have been fine because I would have won row 3 and I would have won row 1. At that point, I could pick row 4 or 5 to choose from. I was going for row 4. I don't know if I would have won it because I needed the 4 from Serena, and then I had 4 in Pinna, and then I had 3 in Gelato. So I was gonna do 4 from 3, and then I could do the Hundos and Serena, or I could bait Larvae into doing that, and then go to Pianta and just get blues there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you
Or I
dipped
could go back and do Shadow Mario.
you dipped Serena to do what? You went to go
4
for.
unique bosses.
Okay.
So I started making a play on row 5, which is the wrong option, but I could have known that at the time. And I went into Rico, and I was like, this is fine. I can still back up with 4 unique bosses, because I got PD, and I went to Blooper, because
Mhm.
so that's Mecha, Manta, PD, Blooper. That's 4 unique. And then I'm in Rico. I do up to Rico 3, and then I'm like, all right, I have 3 from 3 worlds now. I just need to get back into Serena and do Serena 2 and 3. Second I get back into Serena 2, he clicks 3 from and 4 from 3. I was
Oh.
like, yikes.
Mhm.
So I hard committed to Serena 3 no clipping because I didn't want to lose the row because I already knew he was in Serena at that point. When I went to Rico, I was like, he's in Serena. He's in Serena. He didn't click it now. He's going to click it soon because he wasn't in Serena earlier. But I have to stay in Rico because otherwise this plan fails. Which it probably wouldn't have failed if I left Rico. Should have just gone to Serena. But I get Serena 3 no clipping. He wins row 1. He's really set up for row 2 and row 5. And I am like, I don't know what to do. So I went to Pinna. I killed the cannonball, exited because I already done Pinna too, because I know how that goal works. To hopefully open up row 2 to me, and then I did Serena Hundos, and then I was going to go back into Rico to finish out 6 shines from Rico, and I was halfway through Rico 5, which was my 5th of 6 shines, when he clicked Hundos from Rico and 6 shines.
Oh.
And he already had the blue count. So I was like, it's over.
Yeah.
So at that point, I had to pick between Shadow Mario and Bianco Hills or Pinna 3 Hoverless. And I was like, I guess I'll just go do Pinna 3 Hoverless. And Larvae did the 50-50. He did up to Bianco 5 and then started doing Pinna 3
Yep,
Hoverless,
that makes
and
sense.
which I had finished before him, and then I went into Bianco and I lost. So Larvae really won on the information. He played well, played smart. I think my win condition was just staying in Serena and then seeing what I can get from row 4, row 5.
Mhm.
Because 15 blues in Pianta is not that hard. He did that while I was in
Rico.
Rico. So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Close match.
honestly, I should have stayed in Serena. I could have done Serena 1, 2, 2 hidden, and then 3, and then click off 4 from Serena 3 no clipping, and then I go back to Gelato, do Gelato 2 as
And
my
then get your.
4 from 3.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm still like 2 or 3 shines short of 25, but I could easily pick something to get me to 25,
Mhm.
like Pianta at that point,
Yeah.
or go back into Pinna and defeat Shadow Mario.
Yeah. That was a good match.
So yeah, congrats to Larvae, making top 8. Your boy Deathline, bingo legend, connoisseur, and commentator, makes it to
Racks.
top 12, which is what I got
It
top
was
12, and
it
I
was
was
the
seed
goal,
10, so
and you took
it was the
down Oat
goal.
Flaker.
I took down O Flaker. That's what matters. I
Really
am
does.
one half of the 0 and 2
All right. So Popo versus Guy. Um, this was kind of a blowout. Um,
I
Popo.
didn't get to watch this match a whole lot, and when I saw the card after like the match was finished and everything, I just WTF'd because I was like, how is row 5 not clicked at all?
I have no idea. Actually, I'm looking
It
at
just
that.
confused me.
Yeah, 100 in Pianta.
Battery low.
Oh, battery low. That's not good, friends. Um, yeah, 3 in
We're almost
Noki.
there.
Charging battery.
Um, yeah, Popo's route was just like slightly slower than Guy's to a lot of things, and it just put him really behind.
uh,
Like Bianco 4 Flow, this was a close race that Popo lost.
yeah.
Um,
Guy took the hittings while Popo takes blues from Gelato.
mhm.
Um,
Which then
Guy
that
gets
sets him up for 2 from 5 better. Sets him up for. Well, I guess I get the birds at some point. Probably while I was doing the hidden.
he got 4 unique and 6 birds while Popo gets the 3 secrets. So he's in Pinna now. Guy gets both bells and 5 bosses while Popo is off doing God knows where. Guy gets rockets and Noki. Popo only had the 2. Or he only had 1. He didn't get the 1 in Bianco. This is the one you commentated because I remember saying this. Guy ends up winning butterflies.
Yep.
Row 4 and 5 were
Never
not touched. Never
That's a
touched.
really
2 from
interesting.
5 was a big snipe, though. I will admit that.
Yeah, but at that point, guys should have had the shine lead still.
Yeah. So
And either way,
honestly, it's just looking at this card. It's mind-boggling
uh-huh.
how they
Yeah,
only did row 1, 2, and 3.
Not even 15 M's, no totals. Like bizarre.
Like hundreds in Pianta, 25 in Pinna, Serena 3 no clipping. It's not even that bad if you get Yoshi, which Guy did because he got both bells. 3 shines from Noki. He had the shine lead. It just
worked out better.
Crazy. Yeah.
Weird match, but yeah, Guy took that one, putting him
Pretty
in
convincingly.
top 8. And then the last one is RSW versus Mike, which was another big upset. Urinal Mike was looked at as a big threat in this tournament, and RSW took him down.
So this was one that I commentated, and this was a hype match. Great match. RSW earned the victory that Mike threw away because he didn't get row 2 in time. Then Mike brought it back from the depths of hell, got row 3, or not row 3, he got row 4, got row 5, and then choked it at the end. At the very end. It was unfortunate. So they're both starting off pretty well. RSW playing a little bit better. It's pretty even all the way through. They're doing their thing. I don't remember exactly where they went, but it looks like RSW, purple,
Mike blue,
Mike
teal,
teal. RSW, he gets row 1. He has Serena. He has Penna, doing well. Mike, getting the Rico, the birds, gelato, bosses, linked on all that. He's in Noki, and I'm freaking out because he really needs to defeat both cannibals, which he had defeated the first one, and 1 from each, which he needed Pianta, Noki, and Serena. And he went to Pianta. I'm like, okay, good. Please just get 1. Go to Noki. Goes to Noki. You know what he starts doing?
Blues.
He starts getting blue coins.
Why would you do that?
He starts getting blue coins. So RSW wins 1 from each, and the cannibals. I'm like, oh no, Mike can't win this anymore. He lost his win cost. He didn't get row 2 soon enough. I don't know how Mike did this, but he barely, very barely won out the Rico hundreds, and then very barely won out the 7 bluebirds, because RSW had been getting the birds all this time, but he didn't have the 7th bird open. But Mike did, but he didn't have any birds. So he literally went to Pinna, get the birds, goes to Gelato, gets the birds in Delfino, gets into Bianca 6 and gets the bird, and he holds the click. And this was the delay click that scared me the most, because I was like, if you don't click this, you lose. Like, those are the scariest type of delay clicks. RSW killed the bird and was jumping down to get the blue when he clicked it.
Wow.
Mike is now, like, doing something that isn't Delfino blues, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, Mike, you need to do Delfino blues. what are you doing? And then he finally realizes, oh shit, I need Delfino Blues. So he starts getting Delfino Blues, which now RSW is doing because that's his next win call.
Uh-huh.
And they're trading back and forth 10, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11. Mike gets the last blue and gets into Noki, clicks it off, wins that by about 30 seconds or whatever. I'm like, Mike can do this. He can so do this. He needs to get the 20 blues and get eel, and then he can get the 3 100s.
Uh-huh.
Mike's into Serena 2
You mean Noki too?
or Noki 2, and he clicks off 20 blues from Noki. Well, at the time, we had the stat tracker guy, Picross, God bless, and we both had me and Larvae commentating the match. We both knew, based on the sheet and based on what I was watching, he only had 18 coins. So we immediately clicked it out, and Mike was like, I want to pause. So we paused. Mike Z-mentioned, saw he had 18 and goes, oops, never mind. And stands on one of the platforms in Noki on the spirals right in front of you, right in front of spawn. And he's looking around. He's looking. He spends about a minute looking. Meanwhile, this entire time he's looking, RSW keeps playing all the way through eel. And Mike finally realizes the blues that he missed, which are the 2 in the wall under like the mole area.
Yeah.
Like under the trampoline, like way down there. And he gets those in Noki 2 while RSW is now in Noki 3, well into Noki 4 or something like that. And he's like, it's over. So he starts collecting hundreds. He loses. And it was just really unfortunate because if he had gotten the blues and got an eel, it would have been great because then they could contest for 3 100s, which neither of them had done. And it was funny because he clicked 20 blues right as RSW got into Noki 1 or Noki 2, and RSW started getting blues.
Oh my
So he gave up on blues. He gave up on blues when he saw that clicked, and then he still gave up on blues after the pause because he knew that he's like, oh, he must be close, even if he doesn't have the 20 total. So Mike, instead of continuing playing and going on to eel and just getting the 2 and eel that you need,
yeah, that would make a lot of
like
sense.
that, he just stood there
For
and
what,
I was
like
just like
3 or 4 minutes?
He stood there for at least a minute and a half.
Oh my god.
Like, it was a long time. And then he went to go collect the last 2 blues that he missed, and then he bailed and went to start doing hundreds, which he knew that he lost at that point. But I was like, Mike, just go to eel. You scared him off of blues. He's not gonna keep contesting blues. Just go to eel. And Mike, I was just so sad. I was like, Mike, you were poised to lose because you gave up 1 from each in both cannonballs, and you brought it back from the depths of hell with row 4 and 5, and started contesting row 3 at the perfect time with all these perfect delay clicks. It was just so perfect.
Wow.
And then just forgot 2 blues, and then couldn't remember where they were and stopped playing. And it was just so heartbreaking at the end.
That does sound very sad. Wow.
Because Mike was really in to still win it at that point. Like, he was gonna win 20 blues. He was gonna win eel because he had a shine lead, and or they both had 1 shine, but RSW started collecting blues, and he was like way off on like the other side of Noki 2. And at that point, they could start gunning for hundreds, and it would come down to skill on the hundreds. But it was just unfortunate.
Yeah, that does sound very sad. That's a hype match.
It was a really hype match.
That definitely deserves a rewatch at some point.
Oh, actually, Mike did do 100. That's right. He did Pianta at one point, or Noki's 100s or something. No, he had Rico 100s. That's right. Because he had Rico 100s and RSW bailed from Rico 100s because Mike did it in 3 and RSW did it in 1 and quit out at 80 coins.
So he was up for 300s.
He was up for 300s, so he was going to win, unless he threw in the hundreds or something like that. He dies or something somehow.
Dang,
in hundreds. So yeah, he just needed the Noki, and then he was poised to win and bring it back from losing row two, which honestly I thought was gonna be the game under him. I
Hmm.
was freaking out when he lost row two. I was like, Mike, I don't know why you didn't get both cannibals and one from each. You needed that more than anything you were doing right now.
So he started 20 in Noki and then didn't finish that and then went Serena?
No, he got a lot of the blues, like almost all 20, and then he collected like a couple, I think, at the end when he went back into Noki, and then clicked it off, and we're like, no, because he was doing the blues, and then RHW clicked off both cannibals and one from each, and I'm pretty sure he exited area without
Ah.
finishing the shine.
Ah.
So he had to go back in, finish the shine, get into the two, get the coins, and then he clicked it off, and we're like, no, nope, that's 18, bud. And he's like, oh yeah, you're right.
Wow.
So it was just really unfortunate at that moment.
Dang.
So this allows RSW to move to top 8. Mike unfortunately knocked out at top 12. Still a really good showing for someone that we all thought at the beginning of the tournament wasn't gonna do that great.
Hmm. Um,
Uh,
but
That's a
yeah,
clap for Mike.
that actually concludes all the matches we were going to talk about.
We did it. We did it.
We did it. That was a
It was
lot of
like 16
matches.
matches, but we did it.
Um, all right. So we're gonna talk about a couple topics real quick.
Before
Um,
Paper's computer dies.
Now my computer's fine. I got my charger going.
Okay.
But anyways, so we're gonna talk about the rest of top eight, and we're gonna talk about some of the players that we went farther or shorter in the bracket, just some surprises. Um,
What's the con to see for top 8?
hmm?
What are we gonna see in top 8? Who are the players?
So some of top eight has already happened because I'm a very lazy Pape recap show. Um, but
It
the players that
happens.
went into top eight, so we had me versus Braguy, and SB versus Ramato in winners semis.
That
Um,
did happen.
and then
No
in
spoilers.
losers we had Danny Larvae versus Guy RSW, and then Danny Larvae was a match, and then Guy RSW was another match. So that was the top eight. Um, but yeah, and then the players left now are me, Ramato, Danny, Braguy, SB. Um, in fact, let me go on ahead. Let's just transition over to this one real quick. Um, this is what our bracket looks like.
Peeking into top 8 matches that will get reviewed at some later date.
Later date, not today. Um, but yeah, so this is what our top eight was looking at. Um, I don't really know. It's kind of weird now to talk about matches that already happened, but I guess let's talk about some of the matchups we still have left. So let's talk about Braguy versus SB.
The freaking winners finals that no one thought was
The Cinderella stories of the tournament. SB with a big win over Amato. Um,
huge.
and then
No one
Braga
thought that was
with
gonna happen.
the W over me, putting him in winners finals. Um, I think this one's really interesting. I think if SB keeps playing the way he has, like he's got a good shot at winning this one.
It's
Um,
definitely interesting this matchup because SB is definitely faster in any percent times and things like that. Braga knows all the tech, but SB has just executed it on a more daily basis, consistently, all the time. He plays 120, he plays any percent, he plays 20 shines, he plays all the categories. And while Braga is a bingo god and probably still has better routing and overall, uh, delay clicking skills and things like that, it's going to be tough to put that against just raw speed.
mhm. Yeah, I think I honestly think that like SB's got a very solid chance of winning this one, even though like Braga is like I would probably say that Braga is probably the best player left in the tournament now, because I think Braga is
In
still like,
winners.
I mean, in winners, I think even in general, Braga is still the best player left.
He's definitely very good. That seed 5 is a little deceptive.
Yeah, for sure. But that's that matchup, and then so we have me facing the winner of Ramato Danny. So let's talk about both of those. So me versus Danny. So I played Danny in Scrim Week. I think I played Danny in Scrim Week. And that was a close 3-2. That I kind of like barely won.
Danny's good. Danny's fast.
Danny is good. My routes lately have been questionable. Um, so I don't know how I'm gonna fare against either of these players. Ramato's had my number the last couple times, so I'm real scared to play him.
Yeah, Ramato is also one of those bingo gods that we talk about amongst like the top 5. You
Hmm.
know, those are like the top 5 players and like the top 5 seeded players are like people that would be referred to as like the bingo gods of this tournament.
Hmm.
And Ramato, like if they each like had like specialized like in portions, like Braguy is like super think and paper, you're like just the overall skill on like all fronts, and then Danny, just strong, consistent player. Ramato is like the ultimate hands down god of blue. It's so hard to contest him in blue coins.
Hmm.
It's just ridiculous. This guy will do every blue coin goal on a card, and while still
It
getting all the shines.
Yeah, it actually shocked me how many of Ramato's cards ended up like that, where he still got a lot of blue coin goals and still ended up getting a lot of shine goals. It was ridiculous.
Like it's uncommon for Ramato to end below 6 minimum.
Yeah.
Like he just gets all the blues so fast, ridiculous. So
Um.
it's gonna be a tight match regardless because Danny is still a strong player. He's very consistent.
Yeah, I think Danny fell off a lot of people's radars when he lost to Braguy, but like Danny has just like been beating a lot of people. Like by going into losers, he ended up having to play more people. He got to play Pogo, he got to play Larvae, he'll get to play Ramato. Like he got at least like two more matches that, you know, uh Ramato or
That
I didn't get to play. So
yeah, it's gonna be tough. And then either way, the winner of that, whether it be Ramon or Danny, has to play you paper, and that's also just gonna be a tough match for either opponent.
mhm. um but yeah, those are
Because
like the only confirmed matchups we have. We could get into like real specific stuff in like, oh, if SB loses this match and is in here, or if Brad guy loses here and then like but like
yeah, SB's into grands. Like
the possible
there's only
matchups are like maybe 10 at most.
there's only a few more matchups
See, there'd
to be
be
had.
two here, two, four. Guess what? Maybe be like 6 or 7. It's not a lot,
Something
but
like
yeah,
that.
and they're all good. Like SB definitely came out as showing himself as being like one of the people who can take down the gods, right?
Yeah, Seed
Um,
7's nothing to sneeze at. At the beginning of the tournament, SB looked like he didn't know what he was doing. He had to play me in Scrim Week. He almost threw that. I ended up losing 3-1 because I didn't know what the hell I was doing either. I prioritized a goal that I did not need. Um, and then he lost to the higher seed opponent that he had to play. I don't remember who that was exactly, but once he started playing more road control, he really started understanding the concept and being able to take out strong players.
mhm. Yeah. Anyways, that's what the rest of our top eight is looking like. There were some matches in top eight that already happened that
As seen on the bracket.
we will discuss later. But
Pape recap
anyways,
episode 3.
episode 3. So let's just talk about some of the players who went a lot further than we expected, or a lot shorter than we
Or
expected.
shorter.
Yeah. So I think the one that really surprised me was Pogo, because like I'm sure nobody in their bracket predictions predicted Pogo to go to losers round 4. Like I saw him
Pogo
losing to either Cheddar or Libra, and he beat both of them.
Pogo went 3-2 and got top 12.
Hmm.
And honestly, I'm pretty sure I had him going 0-2. Um, like RSW Pogo, that match could have gone either way, really. RSW ended because that's where it was.
Mhm.
Pogo versus Cheddar. Seti, honestly, like we all like bag on him for the certain to 100s, and it's all fun and games, but he's still good at bingo. He's
He
seed
was,
11.
yeah, he was still
That's one
relatively
below
good.
me.
Hmm.
But he got fortunate that Seti did Seti things. Went on to play Libra and just had the biggest brain with the delay click,
Yeah.
and then had to go on and play Danny, which was a very insurmountable wall at that point. But
Yeah.
beating actually he went 2-2. Um, beating Seti and Libre is still nothing to sneeze at all.
Hmm.
Like that's very impressive.
Yeah, it was definitely a shock. Um, and then the other one was RSW. Like the two players that like had to go against each other, like they both ended up making top 12.
RSW making top 8 on top of that as well.
That is true. RSW did make top 8.
Yeah, RSW winning against Pogo and then had to play Paper. Rightfully won that match. I don't think anyone would let Paper live that down if he lost to RSW. No offense to RSW, but Paper, come on.
Be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that sometimes. Then had to go all the way from losers round 2 up to round 5. He convincingly took out Zofos, convincingly took out Reed, and had a really good win con against Mike. Almost lost it, but ended up winning in the end.
Yeah.
And Mike was a strong player.
Hmm. Yeah, Mike definitely showed himself too. Like that was one of the players that I was scared to face if I had to potentially. Um,
Yeah, the underdog story of the century for this one. He was supposed to face Oddme, and not a lot of people thought he was going to beat Oddme, because Oddme is one of the faster Sunshine 90% players. He's also played Sunshine for a pretty good amount of time now. That match just didn't happen, unfortunately, due to Oddme forfeiting it due to other speed games. Then he had to go against Oat, and everyone was like, well, regardless of who plays Oat, whether it be Oddme or Oat's gonna win. Shocked the entire community by 3-0ing Oat Laker.
hmm that was a
And
convincing dub.
it was a convincing dub. Even if Oat made some questionable decisions, it was convincing. Mike played very smart.
Yeah, Mike had a very good route that bingo, and it was like in the perfect time and just like worked out super well for him.
So, and
Um,
then had to go and place SB, which is another really hard wall to beat, and almost did it. He only lost because of the Serena 2 death.
oh dang, was that close? Huh,
It was that close. He lost by 1 death. That cost him 1 minute.
dang. And that ended up
And if
working in
he'd,
SB. It ended up
yeah, it
working in
ended up
SB's
working for
favor
SB, but
because SB's now in winners finals, which I expected SB to go like pretty substantially farther than 7th seed, but I didn't see him in winners finals.
top 3.
But you know he got the win versus Romano in the exact time he needed it, and it worked out for him even after
Yeah,
the
so
sound glitch clash.
Mike had to go down and face RSW, and this was Fortunately, he lost. Almost brought it back. Like it was a really bad 2-1 at that point in the match, and it was so close, and he brought it back very well.
Mhm.
Um, just unfortunate ending for that match, but Mike was definitely a good story. Another player that we weren't really ready to see for this tournament was Guy, Guy 2308.
Yeah,
Um,
I think at the start, Guy was looked. I so I was talking to Braguy about this, and the only reason that Guy was seated low is because they didn't have information on him.
They
If
only had his any percent times because Guy has been an up and coming Sunshine player. Just been dominating any percent. Started at like a 130 or something, and now he's like 116, 117 or something like that.
uh
Um, yeah, he got seated 12th because he didn't play Scrim Week, so they're like, we kind of have to fit him in somewhere. Just stomped Nuryesh. It was bad. That card was not supposed to be done in 50 minutes. And then he did get 3-0'd by Braguy, but that 3 untelling of the actual match. That 3-0 was very close for Braguy. A couple things gone differently, Braguy might have lost that.
It would have been closer. I think
It would have been a lot closer.
I think Braguy was always in control of that match, but I think Guy definitely had like options to like take and
He
make it
contested like
closer.
every row that Braguy got.
Exactly. Like it was not like Braguy had a free like, oh, I'm gonna get these goals, but like Guy definitely pushed him to make some decisions and some calls. So
So yeah, Guy had to go through on me, having to forfeit due to disc issues. Moves on to 3-0 MD Mason. Moves on to 3-0 Popo. And then top 8, where he plays RSW.
mhm.
Foretelling. Spoilers, but he got a little farther than just top 8. It's a guy, very, very strong player, honestly. The
Mhm.
paper guy match was a little scary.
Yikes. We'll save that for another day.
Top
Um,
8 review.
but yeah, and I think so. We like to like drag on Oatflaker, right? But like it happens to all of us. We all lose to players at some point. We all have close matches with players that shouldn't be that close. Like Oatflaker just happened to run into, 2 bad days where he lost to people that he like technically shouldn't have lost to,
Mm-hmm.
but like I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
definitely
I don't think the
happens.
loss to you is like I wouldn't even consider that a super bad loss, and I wouldn't consider the loss to Mike bad either because Mike like showed that he could compete with a lot of people. Like he beat
Mm-hmm.
Cheddar. He had a close match against me in the one time we played. Granted, that match was slightly skewed, but that's besides the point. Um, and yeah, like he just ran into like 2 bad days, and like it happens to all of us, where we just run into
Yeah,
people that sometimes you should win.
seeds aren't always foretelling. I mean, there's definitely skill levels and different ranges, but just because you're seed 2 doesn't necessarily mean any match is going to be free. Row control is very indicative of the card and how you play. I mean, there's just days where you can't do surrender whenever, and you eat 15 minutes because you can't do surrender ever, or make one bad routing decision, and that allows the opponent to get a couple of goals that they shouldn't have got, or that you really needed, and that just allows them to end up winning the match.
Hmm.
So, I mean, Oatflaker was definitely a strong candidate to win the tournament, and
For sure.
it's really surprising to everyone that he went 1 and 2,
Yeah.
albeit the 1 was not a real 1, but we could say it's a 0.5. He went 0.5 and 2 to make it
Yikes.
sound better.
Uh, I
Other
think
players that didn't go as far, Reed.
I was
Reed
yeah
is an
I was
interesting one.
about to say Reed because Reed technically should have made it farther, but at the same time, in all the matches we saw Reed play, he never showed great row control. And
He's
so
just fast.
while he was seed 9, I don't think it like shocks anyone that he didn't go as far as he like potentially could have. Now, granted,
Yeah.
I think Reed is good. Like, I don't think Reed is as bad as people think, but there's definitely like some issues in like his routing,
The
and that's just
routing.
something that you know takes time. Like, we're all not born great at routing like Braguy was. Like, it takes
Yeah,
time to
not all of us can be Braguy, unfortunately.
like it takes time, but yeah, like
And
we all like to brag on Reed, but like Reed is a good player at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, I mean, he had to end up playing Larvae, seed 8, seed 9. It was supposed to be a really close match, and it honestly was.
it was.
I
Reed almost won
commentated
that
that
one.
match. Reed could have won that one, but he did the Reed where he was so close to the red coin for lily pad. He could have gone the surrender right after. He was so like in a much better position to win, and then he just ate the bird. And then Larvitar took it 3-1 there. But
Yeah,
he could have beat Larvae that match. It was possible.
very
Yeah, it
possible.
was very possible. Um, the Reed Blood Whale match didn't happen. Was going to be a hype match to see. Reed was most likely going to win that match, in all things considered. Most likely used scarcely nowadays because most likely doesn't mean anything. and seed 10 is beating seed 2, and seed 17 is getting into top 8. But most likely Reed would have beat Blood Whale, and then he had to play RSW. And again, Reed versus RSW was a close match. RSW just played very strong that card.
Yeah.
The only other player that I can really talk about not going that far is Popo.
Yeah.
Considering where they were seated. And personally speaking, I don't know Popo all that well. I know them
I don't
very,
either.
very briefly just from the 2v2 tournament. I've seen them play. I've never really talked to them. But for someone who's seed 6, you know, he's just outside of like the realm of like the bingo gods. You know, he's still like a bingo, like a tough opponent to play if he's seed 6, right? You know, you're beating SB, you're beating Larvae, you're beating Reed. You know, he beat Seti, loses to Ramato,
Like
and
a
then lost to
convincing.
Guy.
Yeah. And it's not even like the matches were like significantly close. Like, so like him beating Cheddar, like okay, but then he like got demolished by Ramato and then got demolished by Guy.
Yeah,
So,
it was just a little shocking to see that it just went out so quickly.
like I wouldn't even be surprised if he still had the same 2 losses, but like I feel like they should have been closer losses. Like
Definitely.
not convincing 3-0s where he only got 3 goals or something. Like at least putting up a fight like 3-1 or something with like 2 goals in another row or something. Maybe he just didn't play a lot of row control, but you know, like
Yeah, like the
happens.
Ramada match, was just sad. Like I mean, even with the linked pair thing happening, it was just bad. In the match versus Guy, while he did contest one row, his goals just got sandwiched by Guy. It was just incredible to see by Guy, but really sad for Popo.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that is it.
that's about it. I mean,
Um,
there's been a few upsets that we've already talked about. Um, you know, Oat Flaker. Both of the Oat Flaker matches were upsets. RSW taking out Ray was a little bit of an upset. Guy, just based on paper alone, taking out Popo. And then a little bit of a sneak peek into top 8, but SB taking out Ramato. So there's been a number of upsets that have allowed the bracket to be where it is right now.
row control, fellas. It is a very volatile format, which I think is very interesting for the viewer because you don't know what to expect. Like, you come into a match and it's like, oh, this person is like supposed to win or is like better than this player, but like anything is possible like with the way the format works. Because
Yeah,
you
so
only need
much you can
9
do.
goals, right? If you play well, you only need 9 goals, and it's very possible to like route 9 goals better than a different player and get them. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's it.
there's
Um,
yeah, there's just a number of matches where you know I watch Paper scrim all the time, and there's matches where Paper looks like he's gonna win like halfway through, and then one goal gets clicked, and Paper is like, "I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked. I can't win this anymore. I'm so fucked." Like that's literally Paper. He does it all the time
that is
against Ramato.
actually me.
He's like, if I do this, he's gonna beat this. But if I do that, he's gonna win this, and then I'm gonna lose this one too. I can't win. God damn it! And it happens all the time, right? I mean, even for number 1, wins aren't free. It comes and goes, right? You have your matches where you win, and you have your matches where you lose. So top 8's definitely something to look out for, especially for all the rest of the matches. You should really consider watching all of them all the way through
There's
if
what,
you can.
4 more matches? 4 more matches in the row control tournament, fellas. Like, if there's a time to watch them,
Minimum
it is now.
5.
5? 1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
5
Yep,
at
5.
minimum.
5.
5 at a minimum, 6 at a max. Just so everyone knows, yes, grand finals is double elimination. So if the losers bracket player wins the first match in grand finals against the winner bracket player, they must play a second match.
But yeah, top 8 will be covered another time on the Pape recap show.
Hopefully, a reasonable amount of time after the tournament has ended.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But yeah, I think that concludes the second session of the Pape recap show.
The long, lengthy middle section.
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot to Deathline. This was a lot of fun. I think it was a super good Pape recap show.
I've been glad to have kind of self-invite myself and then get on paper cap. But it's I really like the commentary. I mean, I was having fun as a competitor. You know, I got top 12. I wanted top 8, but I got top 12, which is a respectable showing.
Mm-hmm.
I beat seed number 2, which I didn't even expect was going to happen. I gave SB seed number 7 a tough fight as well. But commentary has been really fun for me. I really enjoy commentating, reviewing all the different ins and outs of road control and bingo in general. So
yeah,
paper recap has been fun.
Yeah, you're definitely one of the commentators, and I think it was really good to have your insight here. But yeah, thanks everyone on Sunshine Community for watching. I've been Paper Ario. Deathline has been Deathline.
Always will be.
And I'll see you guys back here for the third Pape recap show when the tournament's over. But until then, peace out, friends.
Thanks for watching.